Forza Horizon 5 has Xbox's biggest first week in history, and there is a really long interview between Eurogamer and Joseph Staten that gives us a bunch of great information about the upcoming Halo Infinite. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. If you enjoy daily Xbox content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So the release of Forza Horizon 5 on November 9th was a massive release for Xbox Game Studios, and it is officially the biggest first week ever in Xbox history and Xbox Game Pass, reaching more than 10 million players. Now, you sit back and you think about that for a 1 week of a release of a game. That's an absolutely insane amount of people jumping in and playing, and it's very well deserved, as Forza Horizon 5 is an incredible game. One of my favorite things about Forza Horizon is just you can play it however you want. You can jump in for 2 hours, get a bunch of stuff done. You could jump in for 10 minutes and get a race done here and there, get XP, and still see yourself progress through the game. Not only that, it's an incredible looking and playing game, and really speaks to the power of the Xbox ecosystem, of Xbox Game Studios, that we are going to see this type of performance from their games going forward throughout this entire generation, especially if they continue to put out quality games like Forza Horizon 5. And even with Halo Infinite upcoming, with the multiplayer beta, all that kind of stuff, that is probably going to overshadow Forza Horizon for a little bit of time, the game is still going to be doing extremely well. And again, that's that ecosystem thing, putting your games on Game Pass, putting your games on PC as well as console, and just allowing as many people to jump in and play the game as possible. And because of numbers like this, you are definitely going to see the other companies sitting back, taking a look at this and seeing what could happen if they were to copy the Xbox ecosystem strategy. As I think with a lot of things in video games throughout the years, Xbox has been the first in to really perfect them and really make them what we have today. You think of things like achievements, how good Xbox Live was, party chats, the friends list, all that kind of stuff. And then we saw PlayStation after the fact do those things with their console because they were great ideas and they worked. And the Xbox ecosystem with something like Xbox Game Pass is going to be another one of those things. Okay, jumping over here to a long but awesome interview between Eurogamer and the head of creative, Joseph Staten. Now, as we know, Halo Infinite's multiplayer beta just recently launched, and the gameplay and the foundation of the game is absolutely incredible. It's extremely fun, but there are some complaints with the battle pass and the progression, and 343 is continuously working on that to try to improve it and make sure that Halo fans are getting what they want. Now, firstly, when it comes to the Halo multiplayer beta, a lot of people initially think this is kind of just a marketing thing and they just put it out there to get people hyped up for December 8th. But in reality, he talks about this and wants people to know that it is truly a beta and not just a marketing event. They are looking at the data, they are taking all of the feedback, and we've already seen this with the changes they have been making to the battle pass progression. And this is a live service game. This is a game that is going to continuously get updated throughout the years. So if there's something that is wrong with the game, it's probably going to get looked at, especially if the community speaks up. But one of the best things I would say right now about the Halo Infinite multiplayer beta, besides the gameplay and just the absolute fun the game is the server stability. And Joseph Staten talks about this in this interview, saying that the technical previews really helped, as well as making sure that when the game launched, because of that 1 year delay, everything was smooth, everything was great, that when it came out, it looked great across all platforms, and there was no server stability. Something like we had with the Halo Master Chief Collection. That game is an amazing game now. It's one of the best games I think ever made when you think about the compilation of content within it. But when it first launched on the Xbox One, I believe back in 2014, it was just an absolute mess. And that's something they definitely did not want to happen here with Halo Infinite. So it's great to see that that time and the work has paid off, because the game is just in a great space, great condition right now. Now, when it comes to the battle pass, this is something I think is very important, something that I think that people will be very interested in, and it has to do with changes being made and how they are listening to the community. They are continuously looking at how they can make sure that the progression is where they want to see it, and they're looking at it in two ways: small rocks and bigger rocks. So the smaller rocks are things they can easily change, like I guess the challenges, the daily challenges, what you have to complete for your weekly challenges and stuff like that. But then the bigger rocks are things like the career progression system and the leveling up of your Spartan as a whole. and how these are working within each playlist. So they say here, there are bigger rocks that are just going to take longer to move. When we think about things like a career progression system where you're leveling up a Spartan rank, not your ranking in terms of a ranked playlist, but your Halo Reach style, Halo 5 style, actually having levels that you're earning, those are systems that we wanted to land for launch, but are just going to take more time to land. So those bigger things, obviously, like I said here, are going to take longer to change up and make sure that the progression is at a place where people feel satisfied as they are playing through the game. Right now, a lot of people think it is way too slow because of how much XP you're getting for challenges, how hard some of the challenges are to complete, all that kind of stuff. But overall, your overall rank is just something that will take more work to make sure that it is perfected. And then he continues kind of on the same topic there, but moving back to campaign and Forge. And as we know, when they showed off Halo Infinite's campaign and they talked about it and all that kind of stuff, they said that co-op and Forge are not going to be coming out until specific seasons, so co-op in season 2 and Forge in season 3. And now we know that they're still on track, but they've been pushed back just a little bit because season 2 or season 1 has been extended until May. Therefore, campaign co-op will not be coming out until May. And I think initially everyone thought it was going to be coming out in March because they said that the seasons were going to last about 3 months. So if you're still waiting for campaign co-op, you're going to have to wait a bit longer, which is a bit unfortunate. It is something I would have loved to see at launch, but their philosophy behind how they release stuff and when they're working on the game, I 100% agree with. So I definitely have patience waiting for it because they want to make sure that when they put something out, it is good. It doesn't take away from the integrity of the game. It runs well, it looks great, all that kind of stuff. Now they do say here as well that with co-op specifically, it's running well, like it's progressing all the time, and that they think that this co-op may be the best co-op we've seen in Halo because of the universe that it is in, with the more open world style and the more stuff you're going to be able to do with the person that you're playing with. And within co-op, there's also going to be more stuff they haven't talked about here, saying, and we're also doing some other things that we haven't talked about yet to really make meeting up with your friends and you're jumping into the game good, just not for the campaign, but even better for multiplayer too. So when it comes to shipping campaign co-op, we have a lot of other things that are kind of branches off that central trunk of campaign co-op that we think are an opportunity to just improve the whole game experience. So we're going to get a lot more than just jumping in and playing the campaign as campaign co-op. Now moving on here to the last kind of thing I want to talk about within this interview is the philosophy behind the open style of a Halo Infinite campaign. So as we know, they don't really want to call it fully open world, but it is an open world style Halo campaign where you can kind of go in and do what you want, and there's going to be like side quests and side activities to do rather than just the golden main campaign quest. And the philosophy behind Halo Infinite's open world campaign is that if you want to just do the main campaign, there's absolutely nothing that's going to be holding you back. You can skip all of the side stuff and you're going to be able to get through the campaign in as fast as you want. But then there's also going to be stuff as you're going through the world that may pull you off to the side, and if you're somebody who wants to explore those things, you can go ahead and do that. And the reasoning behind that philosophy where you can kind of skip everything, there's no levels and all that kind of stuff, is that you're a Spartan. There's no crafting systems. You go, you kill aliens, you take what you need, and you move on. And I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, you're Master Chief, you're not finding animals, you're not finding different things throughout the world to build armor, to change your armor. You have your armor, but you need to find other weapons, you need to find other things to equipment in order to take out the different enemies within the world. So I like that approach to it. I like how it isn't going to be exactly along the lines as other open world games such as Far Cry 6 and Assassin's Creed, as Joseph states here he's actually playing through those games and really does enjoy them. And I really enjoy those types of games too, but Halo is a different game and it's going to be a different open world style game. So I'm really happy to see that they aren't just going to be following the kind of checklist style thing that you need to do within open worlds in order to progress. You can really play it however you want. And there have been a lot of campaign previews that have already come out starting today. And if we go through Twitter, just type in Halo Infinite campaign, a lot of the big influencers, a lot of the big media sites have gotten early access to the campaign. I believe they've been able to play like the first 4 missions or something like that. And the actual reception of it has been really, really good. People are saying this could be one of the best Halo campaigns ever. They've really improved it from Halo 5. The open world is fun, all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really exciting. I can't wait for this game to come out. I love the multiplayer, but I'm far more excited for the actual Halo Infinite campaign itself to build on, I guess, what happened off of Halo 5, kind of spiritually relaunch this series, because they're calling this kind of the spiritual successor to Halo Combat Evolved. But it's just so exciting. And here's a good tweet here I want to just talk about. This is from Jeff Gertzman from Giant Bomb, saying, I'm extremely into the early bits of the Halo Infinite campaign. We've got a video on this topic you might be interested in. I will be very curious to see how people take it once it's out there. On paper, it very much has elements that map directly to the standard Ubisoft open world game template. In practice, being able to engage in Halo-like combat during open world activities is thrilling. I haven't been this into a Halo game since 3, or perhaps ODST. Kind of stopped thinking about it. Really hope the rest of the game holds up as well as the first 4 missions. And I think that's kind of a good kind of representation of what we should expect from this game. Yes, it's open world. Yes, it has the elements of, I would say, some of the biggest open world games out there that come from Ubisoft, Far Cry and Assassin's Creed, which I absolutely love both those games. So for me, this is a great thing to hear. But it is Halo at its core. It doesn't take away from the integrity of what Halo is. And like I said, we're only a couple weeks away. I can't wait to jump in. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. What do you think, I guess, in general, of just the overall success of Xbox Game Studios within its first year on the Xbox Series X with Forza Horizon 5, and we know Halo is going to be extremely successful. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you like what you saw throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow, help grow this community, so we can have great conversations in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.